Hello everyone, this is G and I'm back with a new video. I think this is the first video of the year, actually. The previous video I did with, that individual, the CG Sun God, that was right around the end of last year. So this is the first video of the new year. I apologize for being a little late to start the year. Last week was surprisingly difficult for me. I guess it's just the switch from being on vacation to coming back to work and sort of just getting back into the grind. I was very, very worn out by the end of last week. But I hope everybody's doing well, or if you're not doing well, I hope things get better. I hope that this year is a kinder year to us all than the last 2 years have been. But I wanted to just briefly address this, right? Because as you may or may not have heard, I think if you follow me, you probably have already heard this. Adam Sessler again had a Twitter meltdown, right? It's like Dan Slott. It's like, look, Dan Slott gonna Dan Slott. He's gonna block everyone. Adam Sessler has Twitter meltdowns. It's kind of just expected at this point. Nothing really new. Now, I'm gonna approach this from a different angle, or at least I think it's a different angle. Because, naturally you're going to have your videos that call out the unprofessionalism of Sessler's tweets and call out how, he's going to lose his job or lose career opportunities and all that stuff. And that is certainly true. That's certainly true, right? I mean, like, when you're a professional, right? Sessler works in the entertainment industry, right? I'm not sure if he counts as a public figure, right? But he is a face, right? He sits in front of webcams, or back in the day, used to stand in front of cameras, right? He's a front facing individual. And I don't think that this type of behavior from him exactly helps his career prospects. But that's not the part I'm going to focus on. Because everybody else and their mother is going to say that. What I want to focus on is how to deal with a bully, right? At least in my opinion. And I want to be clear. I completely understand and see the hypocrisy in me making a video about Adam Sessler with what I'm about to say. I'm using Sessler in this case because he's just the most current obvious thing, right? But I just want to cover that, right? I get it. There's a certain hypocrisy in me making a video with what I'm about to say, right? Which is, do not give bullies attention. I think this is the biggest mistake myself and others have made or are making. First of all, I want to thank Colin Cochran here for the screenshots of some of Adam's tweets, right? The tweet I saw and responded to yesterday from him involved him calling gamers small dicks or having small dicks and things of that nature. I cannot find that tweet and I'm not going to go searching for it. Or rather, I can't find his tweet, right? Saying that. And I'm not going to go searching for it because Sessler blocked me. All I said to him was that he didn't need to debase himself in this way. I was actually quite kind about it. Like I said, I've been trying a different approach, less overtly aggressive. But all I said was, hey man, you don't need to debase yourself. The impotent rage will not help you. He blocks me for that. So I blocked him right back, right? And yes, I do block now. After 2 years, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start blocking in certain instances. So at the moment, it's just individuals who I sincerely dislike or who have bullied me, or in this case with Sessler, who have blocked me. Right? So that, look, you block me, I'm going to block you back. That's the way I feel about it now. Hopefully, I won't be using the block button too often, but yes, I block now. I just hope to make it so that I don't block people just for differences of opinion. Like, if you catch me behaving like Dan Slott, let me know. Because no one's perfect, right? So I hope my audience will hold me accountable, right? But because he blocked me, because Sessler blocked me and I blocked him, I can't find the original tweet that I saw. But many people have been screenshotting and sharing his tweets around, and so I want to thank Colin for these, even though I strongly disagree with all due respect to Colin here. I strongly disagree with his tweet of making a Twitter account dedicated to Adam Sessler's embarrassing tweets. I actually think that's the last thing we should be doing, because that would just give more attention to him. Because you know he would eventually find the account, and then he would start, talking crap about people making an account dedicated to his trashy tweets. Right? This is a guy who has said stuff like Republicans drink urine. I don't understand why he would bring up such a odd and, in my opinion, gross kink, but to each their own. But he said that they drink urine. I remember him saying, I think it was around November of 2020, because we were deep in lockdown and it was Thanksgiving season that year. And there was this trend of some folks bragging online about basically ratting out their own family or ratting out their neighbors for the crime of having regular Thanksgiving gatherings. And there was a tweet out around that time, I think it was, that Sessler said something to the effect of, like, his Republican family members needed to die, or things like that, right? The man's a bully. The man is a bully. He's 49 years old. I'm not going to say that he could never change. I firmly believe that so long as you're alive, you can always get better or get worse. But he's 49 years old. He's almost 50. You get more set in your ways as you get older. And that's all I'm saying. Right? And the reason why I think that we should stop giving people like Sessler attention. Let me just show some of the tweets that have been documented. This tweet about gamers today, they love paying for Twitter and they need me to be one of them. Nobody needs you to be a gamer, Sessler. Get over yourself. Right? And then, tweets like this, nothing will say gamer today more than stop saying big, complex words. Uh, Gamers are actually quite intelligent, but anyway. It's one of those wonderful mornings where I wake up thrilled that I'm not a gamer. Again, Adam, we don't need someone like you in the gamer space. In fact, bad actors and bullies are what have made the gaming space so toxic. So if you leave, believe me, I will I will clap as you walk away. But here's the thing. Bullies live for attention, right? That's their main currency. They want attention. Look at the views on these tweets from Sessler, right? This one has a little over 51K, right? The next one has 38, little over 38K. Right? This one has 17K. This was actually, I guess, a lower numbered one, right, compared to the others. And then of course this one got the most attention with 88.1 thousand views, right? As the saying goes, especially on Twitter, enragement is engagement, right? Sessler would not say these things if it didn't get a response. If he only got 88 views, it wouldn't matter, right? It gains traction because it gains views. And people share it, and they tweet it, and they retweet it. And again, I'm not going to act like I'm above it all. Again, I did reply to him yesterday. But this is what keeps bullies going. They want attention, especially on the internet, where bullying behavior is greatly encouraged and rewarded. Again, these tweets wouldn't mean much if they didn't have all these thousands upon thousands of views, right? The more we talk about him, the more that we tweet and retweet and all this other stuff, the more we keep him alive in a sense, right? The more we feed his addiction to the attention, right? Because nothing he says here and nothing he has said previously when he's had meltdowns are like, controversial opinions or thoughts that people then came at him for, right? It's not that. He's saying intentionally antagonistic, disgusting things because he knows people will respond to it, right? He knows people are going to respond to it because this is simply just being an insulting jackass. And he knows that, especially on Twitter and in social media, people are by nature reactive. I speak as a reactive individual. If yin and yang are the tiger and the dragon, I am the dragon. I want to be clear about that. So again, I fully admit I play this game too. But this is the problem that I and others contribute to. We give these low rent bullies attention, especially when we don't need to, right? It's dealing with bullies offline, let's say. Because I'm not going to be like, oh, Twitter isn't real life. This is real life. We wouldn't be covering it if it wasn't a real person saying these real things, responding to other real individuals. But dealing with bullying in real life is much more difficult because you have to deal with the bully, right? You have to be around them. Whether it's in your personal life, whether it's at school or at work, it can be very difficult to get away from a bully, right? And to not encounter them because they're always in your space, right? And I speak as somebody who was bullied in some in some fashion, literally most of my life, which is probably why I'm such a loudmouth now, because I have endured bullying for so long in school and personal situations. But the one decent thing about the internet, it's one of those things where it's a double-edged sword, is that you don't have to engage. You don't have to deal with the bully. Let's be honest, Adam Sessler is not a part of my life. Adam Sessler likely is not a part of your life either. We don't have to live with the man. We don't have to work with him. Same with other bullies that we encounter on the internet. And I get it, again, as a reactionary individual, right? I understand how difficult it can be, and I fail many times. I understand how difficult it can be to stand still and remain silent. Sometimes the most difficult thing to do is to do nothing because everything inside of us is saying that you want or you need to respond, right? It's like I can't let this stand. Sometimes the best thing you can do, and I want to be clear, if someone says something that is like derogatory or patently untrue, right? Anything that could kind of be like libel or slander, right? Yeah, a response is necessary. I'm not saying that you need to be silent for every single solitary thing, but generally speaking, the less attention that we give to bullies, the better, because it's their drug of choice. It's like telling someone, hey, you need to lay off the white lines. They're starting to ruin your nose. You need to lay off that white powder, and then you give them cocaine, right? You need to lay off that brownstone. You need to leave it alone, and then you give them heroin, right? We need to stop giving them their drug of choice, especially when it's so easy to not feed them online. The less we talk about them, the better. The less we tweet about them or tweet to them, the better. Which is part of the reason why I blocked him, because now it's much less of a chance that I can actually reach him or get to him, right? It keeps me in check as well. So this is just the conclusion I've come to, at least as of right now. I think that we should treat Sessler and we should treat bullies in general that we find online. Again, reality is a different thing, much more difficult in the real world. But when it comes to the internet, especially if these people are not a part of our lives in any major way, you say maybe one thing and then you keep it moving. There's no need to keep his name alive, right? Let him scream into the void. Let the infamy of Adam Sessler fade away, right? We should do to Adam what was done to Frost. What happened, right? yes, people, especially those who are social commentators, made their content about Frost, but ultimately, what happened in mass? What actually tanked G4? It wasn't just what Frost said or Adam seal clapping like a fool. It was that people tuned out. People tuned out. People stopped watching the channel. And they tried to get people back. Right? They tried to get people back. They tried hiding the video like in the summer, like 8 months after her rant. It's been like a year now since her rant. They tried to private the video and hide it. They tried to rebrand, calling the G4 channel X Play. They tried to. I think they brought Amaranth or whatever that lady's, the Twitch streamer lady. They brought her on for like an episode. They tried to get viewers back, but what happened? People tuned out. They did exactly as Frost said. Don't like, don't watch. So that's what people did. That is what we need to do again. You don't like what he says? Okay. Keep it moving. Don't watch. Don't create a dedicated Twitter account to documenting everything he says unless you need that type of thing for like legal purposes. I don't see the point in doing that. Because honestly, look. He can't say these things unless he's responding to a tweet, right? He's quote tweeting here. Right, and not this one. Oh, this one. Right? Again, he's quote. What's this? Again, he's quote tweeting. Right? He's responding to people who are responding to him. Right? If you don't respond to him, then who's he going to yell at? The wall? Right? It's a two-way street. We don't have to play this game with him. We really don't. We don't have to play this game with any bully online. Don't give him his drug of choice. Don't give him attention. Don't give him tens of thousands of views. Do not contribute to this. And I speak as somebody who contributed to it. So I'm holding myself accountable too. Don't do this. It's not necessary. Right? G4 went down because people tuned out after Frost offended them. We should do the same with Sessler. We should do the same with every bully that we encounter, especially if they have a product that they need to sell, be it a comic book, be it a song, be it a YouTube channel. You find a bully, don't watch. You find a bully, if you can avoid it, don't respond, or respond once, right? There's a little caveat there. Respond once, make one video, and then move on. Because there are so many other things you could be doing, so many other things you could be focusing on, like actual projects maybe you yourself are doing, or projects that other people are doing. Don't pay them attention. And then when they eventually act like why isn't anybody paying me attention? You can go, well, you were a jackass and you pushed people away. So we ignored you. the most how do I put it? I guess the example I will give is this. I remember seeing a movie years ago as a kid called Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, right? It was this very over the top, kind of fictionalized account of Bruce Lee's life. I think the person playing Bruce was Jason Scott Lee. But anyway, there was a scene in the movie where he's in like a tournament or whatever. It's kind of like a secret underground tournament, and he defeats his opponent, right? And what Bruce does to the opponent is that he doesn't yell at the guy, he doesn't scream at him. He just turns his back on him. He walks away, right? That enraged his opponent more than anything Bruce could have ever said. It's also what led to him getting kicked in the back. But that's a different story. But my point is that sometimes you can send a message by just turning your back and walking away. Sometimes you can send a message by not saying anything at all. As I wrap up a 20-minute video, I never said I was perfect. But anyway, that's the video. Please let me know what you think, and I will see you all in the next one, which will not be, unless something really big happens, I do not see myself talking about this again. Because again, I don't think we should give him attention. We need to give him as little attention as we can get away with. But anyway, again, that's the video. Please let me know what you think, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day, night, wherever you are. Bye.